If you run an e-com brand which is successful and is doing 7 or 8 figures per year, then you know that one of the biggest problems that you probably struggle is to how convert people that are abandoning your product page and make them your paying customers. It may seem hard, it may be a problem because probably 90 or 95% of all your traffic goes to the product page and only a fraction of those customers end up buying while the rest just leaves and never come back. In this video, I'm going to show you how to change it and how to prepare a sequence of automated emails that is going to help you convert those people from cold leads into paying customers, which is going to help increase your ROAS. And I'm also going to show you one biggest misconception that could be potentially costing you 6 figures in extra revenue every single year or maybe even month. So let's get right into the video, and I'm going to start with the biggest misconception. So what I'm about to show you is going to be called browse abandonment flow, which is essentially, as I said before, a sequence of emails which are being sent to users. But now the biggest misconception is that we are creating emails, and I know it sounds weird that, okay, like you're talking about email flow, but it's not about emails. And yes, that's true, but you're seeing emails as like the mean to deliver, the sale or like generate the sale. But I would like you to look at those emails as a mean to recover those people by not pushing them the product, but by solving their objections. So it's like not a secret that if someone goes to your product page and they leave, they did have a reason for it. Like first of all, if they clicked on your ad and landed on the product page, that in itself indicates that they are somewhat interested either in the problem that you're solving or in the product that you're selling. Now, with this flow, you will be able to convert anyone who has viewed the product, so has been on the product page, but didn't click on add to cart. So instead of thinking like, okay, what emails to create, I would like you to think which objections should I solve to make those people buy from me and just give me cash for my product, essentially. Now, the trigger for the flow, this is going to be a little bit technical as well, but that's because technicals are important for the whole customer journey. The trigger for the flow is going to be viewed product. And if you stick with this video, I'm going to show you exact email flow that we're going to implement or that we have implemented for one of our clients. So make sure you stay tuned. I'm also going to explain the exact strategy behind it and my thought process, plus like how I would interact on the website and stuff like that. So just stay tuned. It's going to cover everything you need to know. Now for the filters, it's going to be people who haven't added to cart, haven't started the checkout, or haven't purchased from you since starting this flow, so since viewing the product page, okay? So if someone would land on the product page and they would add to cart, they would not get this flow. If they would get onto your product page, they will add to cart and start checkout, they wouldn't get this flow, and same goes for if they would place the order, okay? It also excludes anyone who hasn't been in this flow in the last 15 days, just to make sure that you're not sending the same flow to, the same person like twice per week, okay? That would be just bad for their experience. So we want to make sure you have those filters available, and I'm going to show you how to do it in Klaviyo. So we go to your flows. It's as simple as that. I mean, you probably have browse abandonment flow. If you don't, then you're lucky to come across this video, but you would click on create flow. Then you can just click on browse abandonment. You could go do it like that. Use template. It's going to take a second, and then you have filters. You would need to add one more filter to what someone has done. Add it to cart. So this is the new account, so I don't have this metric, but you would make it added to cart 0 times since starting this flow, and you would make this 15 days instead of 30, because I believe that if we have, there is a problem, okay. I believe that if we have, 4 emails in this flow or 5, which we do, and it takes maximum 5 days, then there's gonna be a break of 10 days where someone would not get this flow, even if they were on the product page. But if they visit your product page once again in 2 weeks, then they'll get this flow once again, which I just think it makes sense because maybe, previously wasn't the right time to buy. Maybe now it is. That's why you need to have those filters in place. So that's pretty much about it on the technical side. There's also like dynamic blocks and whatnot. But if you just create this flow from a template, you're gonna have the dynamic block as you can see. So you just need to adjust it a little bit, go to edit. And as you can see, it's not showing up the metrics correctly, I believe, or the product. So we would, okay, it's not showing up because once again, it's a dim account, but normally I have another video showing you how to do it with abandoned cart flow, which is going to be the exact same for browse abandonment flow. just because they are using like these flows are using the same strings or syntax for both of their metrics, both of these metrics. So just watch it. I don't want to extend it too long. Now let's get into the actual structure of the flow. So I also want you to look at this flow as, once again, like something we're trying to solve, objections we're trying to solve, or reasons why someone wouldn't buy from you, right? Like why wouldn't they end up adding it to cart, going to checkout, and then purchasing? There is probably more than one reason, okay? But you don't want to cover all of them in one email, because that would be a very long email that wouldn't accomplish anything, because that would be kind of like shooting in the dark, trying to see what is it actually about. So this is the structure, which is like a base for everything that you should be doing. And once again, take this with a grain of salt, because we have clients where the structure is completely different and we're promoting different angles in a different order. But that's based on their store, first of all, on their brand, on their customer behavior. Secondly, on the tests that we've been running, seeing which order of emails is the most optimal, and a bunch of other things, like what kind of discounts they're using, if they have any site-wide sales, what kind of guarantees they have, if any. All of this really matters. So just take this with a grain of salt, take it like a base, and then fine-tune it as you need it for your brand, for what you have, and just adjust it as you need. The first email, though, is pretty much always gonna be reminder about like what they've seen, okay? Because the number one reason why someone wouldn't end up buying is they got distracted. Like, let's be honest, everyone's getting distracted. You're getting distracted. I'm getting distracted. Right now a little bit less because I have like apps that are helping me focus. But a lot of people, they're doing 10 different things at the same time. They would be scrolling Instagram, they come across your ad, they would click on the ad, they get message from someone, they get maybe a call, maybe they get notification from their portfolio, like their beam coin went up and they're excited, they're gonna click on this, then they're gonna forget that they were shopping and they're gonna go back to TikTok. So all of those things happen and they are real. So just remind them like, hey, we've seen you are interested. If you need any help, let us know. That's one of the best things you can do, letting people know that they can count on you. And I know, once again, it sounds super simple, maybe too good to be true, but that is true. Because if someone has questions and they are, usually maybe scared to ask, or like they don't want to call you, or they don't know if they can, or what is your email or phone number, all of those are real objections. So if you tell them like, hey, if you have any question, call us at, or email us at, or reply to this email with your question, you're making it very easy for them to ask and get help, which is super, super important. That's why the first email should be just a reminder. Now, you're gonna see that between all of the other emails, there's gonna be a different time delay. Same goes for the first one. Usually you want to test them. Another thing that you want to test, some brands perform better with shorter time delays, where usually the product is lower ticket. When I say lower ticket, I would say even like less than $500. More than that, it's kind of on the higher end. And these decisions are purely emotional. Like if someone wants to buy a $50 product, they don't need to make a whole research. Like we have a client who's selling gym equipment for homes. Like they don't need to, actually measure their space to make sure that the equipment fits, if they have enough space. What if the quality is good, if competitors maybe have better quality, or if they offer smaller equipment that would be necessary for them. It's completely different than if someone is just buying like protein supplements, okay? Then it's like a little bit less research. They still have objections, but usually the faster path or shorter time delay would perform better in those specific cases. But once again, A/B test it. So the first test would be 30 minutes delay for the first email and then 12 hours for every other one. But the longer path would be 2 hours for the first email and then 1 day for every single other email. Okay, so that's very important to note. I'm not going to be covering all of them one by one because that would be repetitive. But yeah, this is how you just play with time delays. Email number 2 is going to be talking about any guarantees that you have, answering FAQs, and essentially removing the risk. So someone tries to purchase online, there is a risk. They have a lot of questions like, what if it doesn't work? What if I don't like it? What if I try to get a refund or my money back, but they decline and disappear? Can I pay in maybe installment? Do they have Klarna? Do they have 0% financing because I really want to buy but can't afford it, for example? All of those are valid questions and valid reasons why someone wouldn't buy. They don't know you, they clicked on your ad, so they don't trust you. But if you show them guarantees, then they're more likely to buy, because if you tell them like, hey, we have, privacy policy that mentions that you have, or refund policy that mentions you have 30 days to give us, or to refund your order. No questions asked. You're gonna get your money back in 2 business days after you return it. It solves a huge objection of like, what if I don't like it? What if it doesn't work? What if it comes in broken? What if whatever? If I don't get my order because you're a scammer, okay? All of those can be relevant objections. So usually email number 2 should be covering all of them. Email number 3 is going to be covering 2 other objections, which is social proof, can I trust them, and then pricing, it's too expensive. We accomplish this by sending them one email with, first of all, discount. So we introduce the discount code, whatever that might be. It can be 5% off, 10% off, $5 off, $20 off, 50, whatever. And then show them some of the reviews. You don't want to show them all of the reviews that you have on the website. Usually I would suggest picking like 3 of them, ideally with some images to make it even, more reliable and be like, okay, these are actual people using the product, so it probably works. Okay, it's not a scam. Another reason why someone wouldn't buy is comparing you to the competitors. And like, unfortunately, that's true. Not unfortunately, but you get the point. Consumers are getting more and more aware of everything that's going on right now. It's easier than ever to find 10 stores selling the same product or positioning it as the same solution to the specific problem. So in this email, you just need to show them like, hey, even those other brands are doing the same thing or seems like they're doing it. This is why we are different and why you should buy from us. And like one, hint that I have for you, or like tip, is if you are the most expensive, the priciest brand in your category, let's say you're selling coffee, like specialty coffee is a great example. If you're selling specialty coffee, you can address this upfront. Yes, we are 4 times or 2 times more expensive than competitors, but, and then you just say like, our beans are being manually picked, we are ethically sourced, we are not using some black labor or whatever that might be. Talk about all of those things. Bad labor. Talk about all of those things, and then you can also imply like, hey, if you're, if you value all of those things, and if you're like eco-friendly person, and ethical and ethics matter to you, then we will be no-brainer choice for you, and then they'll kind of be forced to choose you, because otherwise they would, like, you're not even, you don't need to necessarily say that other brands aren't doing it, but you can just say like, unlike others, or like, we are the only brand that does XYZ. You need to address all of these upfront, all of your USPs, just straight up tell them why. And chances are that a lot of people are gonna buy purely because of those USPs, especially if you have a strong mission or value proposition and they resonate with this. So like, hey, like, I have the same beliefs, I believe in the same things. Like, I like if my product is ethically sourced, if the people, collecting the coffee beans in the third world country are being paid fairly, they are not being underpaid. I like all of that, so I'm gonna buy from you guys. Plus, I like coffee in general, so if I can have better quality beans, which are, actually roasted freshly and so on, I'm gonna do it. That's exactly what I want from the product. That's why you need to communicate those USPs and briefly remind about the incentive, okay? You don't want the incentive to be the leading angle of the email, you want it to be the reminder. Now, the last email is gonna be last call, like an urgency type of thing. So like, hey, we won't be able to hold your discount forever, or, we are selling out very fast, so sometime soon we might be out of stock. Stuff like that would work fairly well. So once again, this is the structure for the flow itself, but now let me show you, the exact example of this flow based on the specific brand as well. So this would be the flow, and we don't have the plain text email because it'd be in the Google Docs, but normally it's super short email, and actually I'm gonna show you another example, but it's once again very short. Yeah, stuff like that. So like, just reminding them about the discount code, and usually plain text email from the founder, it works very well, okay? You can have 2 or 3 links in it, it's completely fine. And then talk about, just paying full price, like create urgency, okay? And you also want this to be real. You want the urgency or the discount code to actually expire, because otherwise you might be getting complaints and whatnot. If it won't expire after this time, just don't say it's gonna expire 24 hours. Try something else, like, we can't hold it forever, or this might be, the last chance to upgrade your, or like ensure that your pet travels safely this week. Stuff like that, just play with it a little bit. And make sure it's actually real, so you won't be this another cheeky brand that is trying to push product discounts without any reason behind it. So again, this is the flow without email number 5, which you've seen anyways, like just now, so that's fine. But yeah, this would be the flow in itself. Now you might see that there are not really like product photos or dynamic sections for the flow, and that's right, and that's because this is a one product store, okay? So normally, if you have multiple products in the SKUs, you want to have a dynamic section and show them exactly what product they left, because that's just gonna resonate more with recipients, with subscribers. So instead of this product photo, which is lifestyle photo with the product itself, you will just have dynamic section. So like here's what you're looking at, or like here's what you left, and then dynamic section showing the products that someone left. Okay. And then once again, just go to your website and think of like why someone wouldn't buy. So we go to this brand, we go to the homepage, and then we click on shop now. And this is where someone would leave. Okay, like you can go through your product page, read through everything you see. I mean, go through the all the content that there is. Like really, just go through everything that you have on the website, and be like, okay, why did someone leave? The truth is that usually you're gonna just use the content or similar content from the product page, but you're gonna reuse it in your emails because the product page in itself is designed to get people to click. So your emails should accomplish a similar thing. And if you look at those emails, it's gonna be quite similar. Okay, so we also are talking about the reminder. So like, hey, you left your product, make sure that you come back and complete and enjoy safe baths and memories and so on. Then we talk about USP. So again, a little bit different than the structure that I showed you, which is fine because, as I said, we need to adjust it to what we have. So in email number 2, we're talking about USPs, because the client told us like, hey, I know for a fact that other brands, or like people are buying this product, are comparing to other brands, looking at the material, all of that, and if it's going to be right for me and my bag. So we need to do it faster rather than later. So we are sending it as email number 2. Then we are introducing the discount and then reviews, just to build up the social proof. And then once again, just remind them about the discount, okay? And then 4th email would be, again, reminder of the discount code, but then we're talking about guarantees. So solving the objections which I told you about, we pretty much just swapped email 2 with 4. Like that's the only thing we've done really here in terms of the structure. So we talk about free shipping, 30-day money-back guarantee, and easy returns, which is the exact same thing I told you about before. And then just to back it up, one more review, and then the discount code. Super powerful email in general, because you're talking about the discount code, the guarantees, and so showing social proof, person with a product, which is super powerful. Like you're pretty much covering all of those 3 objections just by having one email. And once again, if you go through the product page, they're really talking about similar stuff, like showing product photos, comparison, risk-free, all of this stuff. And it's not like we didn't copy it from the website. Back in the day when we were doing this flow, the website was also a little bit different. But the point is that all of those things that you have on the product page are probably why someone should buy. And, these are covering the objections that you should be also solving in your email. It's just instead of, targeting them all at once with like one long email, you're targeting them one by one and getting a little bit more in depth into each one to make sure that you can, actually convert those people and turn them into customers, and so on and so on. So yeah, that will be pretty much it about this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to join my email list. There's gonna be a link below this video. You will also get access after you sign up to 162 pages worth of guides about email marketing and high-level strategies. So if you really want to scale your brand this year, join my email list. And after you do this, make sure to watch my other video, which is gonna be recommended by YouTube. Cheers!